Mom! Dad's got another tattoo!
On this week's episode, a 10-year-old girl wins Squid Games, Marc admits to maybe losing an argument, and Richard gives us the full download on his camping holiday as we navigate midlife. Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Mum, Dad's Got Another Tattoo, the Midlife Crisis podcast. I'm Marc and he's back. I'm here with my co-host Richard, fresh from his relaxing holiday.
I think I've still got twigs in my hair and flies in my teeth.
Well, we did get some correspondence about this from someone you may know called Tony, who
Big
listens.
TC?
Yeah. The one and the same. He listened to your voice notes that you kindly sent us and said that that was his exact view of what camping would be like. So I don't think you've encouraged him or perhaps anyone else into that. But we'll have a full download later on in the show. But good to have you back, Richard.
Thank you. Yeah, I missed it last week. I missed a lot of things last week, to be fair.
Well, like running water, electricity.
All will be revealed. But yeah, I mean, they were the low lights. A lot of great moments. But as I said, just everything's a little bit more difficult in a tent.
Yeah, so it seemed from those. But I've been looking forward to episode 21 and recording it because this puts us in the top 1% of podcasts of all time, Rich. 99% of podcasts don't get to episode 21, and yet here we are.
all our tens of listeners.
And you say tens of listeners, but how else would you explain our entry into the podcast charts? It is official. We are the 28th most popular men's mental health podcast in New Zealand.
I mean,
What an honour.
I mean, I want to get a T-shirt. I'm big in New Zealand. Or big-ish.
Yeah, biggish. I've checked the what that actually means in the numbers, and I'd rather keep the headline than reveal the magic of what gets you in the top 30 of men's mental health podcasts in New Zealand. But yeah, so thank you everyone for supporting us, and thanks to everyone that's got in touch. If you want to get in touch, please do so at mum.dadsgotanothertattoo@gmail.com or at Dad's Got Another Tattoo on all the social media platforms. But we've got a lot of catching up to do, not least because it was the child's birthday this weekend.
How did that go?
Not too bad, actually. It was a 3-day event which involved a trip to London, a netball trial, and bunny viewing, followed up by kids going to some trampoline place and then back here for dominoes, paddling pool, and then home. It was all very... They're at the age now where you don't have to, really babysit them. They can sort of look after themselves a little bit. So that was all very good.
You say that. You say that. So it's my daughter's birthday next week, and I am currently preparing for 5, 9 and 10-year-olds for a sleepover. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we did the sleepover thing last year. It wasn't that bad, actually. Yeah. They can get a bit overexcited, but once all that dials down, then they can. Is it all girls or is it a mixture?
All girls.
Yeah, that's much better because they start doing each other's hair and all that sort of stuff. Whereas friends of mine have got boys. It's all elbows off the top rope and
jumping off a couch.
Yeah.
Someone ends up in A&E.
Yeah, a little bit more boisterous. So that's one of the many upsides of having girls is they come round and
Oh, there's makeup everywhere ready for this thing. That's a great age.
So our Friday, I went to play Squid Games, which
I saw. Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good. It was one of these immersive experiences based on the Korean. Well, there's two things that it's based on. First of all, is the sort of late stage capitalist Korean drama where people actually participate in various challenges, and if you fail, you die. There was very little death in this immersive experience.
I can imagine so.
But there's also a game show which is based on the same games and trials that you get in Squid Games, but also less death in that. But I think the winner gets like £250,000 or dollars or something. I don't know.
Really? So it's actually an actual real event.
Yes, yeah, it is a real thing on Netflix, and they've done an immersive experience which is very similar. So, and so you're guided through as if you're going to be killed if you don't do all the tasks, but you're
The
not.
Masked Man, I imagine.
Yeah, people looking around, and kids are dying to play, if you pardon the pun, red light, green light with the, and
Iconic.
It is iconic, and one of the sort of actors said, what game do you want to play? Red light, green light. So it's about 50 of you in a room, half kids, half adults, but you're all playing it. You got the vest on and all that.
So how do they determine that you're out?
So what you do, you've got a wristband, and when you do the trial, depending on how good you are at it, you then put this wristband next to a reader at the end, and it assigns you points.
Right.
The value of which will be revealed in a second. So we had to do these things where you go over a bridge where the floor lights up, and you have to memorise the pattern and only step on the green ones. You have to do some sort of tug of war thing, red light, green light, throw marbles into the middle, and there's a shape there, and you've got to make sure that it lands within that. And then you get all the I came second in that one to an 8-year-old girl, 17, 18. Thought about elbowing her out the way, but
It's not. There might be CCTV and legal cases, and
could get very, very messy. And then red light, green light, and then red light, green light was the final sort of point scoring thing. And then you go into something which I think is called, it's a carousel. It's basically a stylized version of musical chairs where you're all walking around the outside of this thing with shapes on the floor. The shape comes on the screen. You've got to jump on the thing, on the matching shape. But there's not enough for everyone, so you get, and then there's a smaller circle next time with even fewer, until in the end there's one
playing Agadoo while this was going on, because it's not musical chairs unless there's a drop of black lace.
Yeah, no, not really black lace friendly, but I wouldn't be against that. So the person who finished top was already in the middle. Right, they didn't have to play this, so they were already in the middle of this, and then it played out, and then so they said, right, you got to get there first. And I looked either side of me, and I had literally children, 3 kids either side. So I've got a choice: do I want to win, or
barreling children out the way?
Yeah, I mean, they were tiny. I could have easily thrown them out the way, but I did demur, and I think lots of other people did as well. So by the time it came to the semi-final, there was only kids left in it.
Yeah,
and one of them was my daughter. And actually, as the music started going round and round to the last space, she won it. So she's in the final with the adult that has
really.
Yeah. So and then they do almost like Pistols at Dawn, but instead of actual pistols, they're playing rock, scissors, paper.
Right.
And so they take 5 steps away, turn around to reveal the shape, and it was a draw. So they had to do it again.
Or they go rock. They go rock.
Yeah, they both went rock.
Yeah. Standard.
So. And then the child later reported to me, she goes, when you both go rock, the other person always goes paper next. They always go paper next. I do. Right, okay, let's see then. So 5 steps, turn around, she went paper, daughter went scissors, she won the whole thing. Crowd went wild. And then she had a choice to make, actually, which was, do you want a small present for everyone or a big present for you? And with not very much encouragement from the adults in the room, she chose the big one for herself.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be a Squid Games tote bag. So
everyone's happy. Well, not everyone's happy. The other kids that could have had a prize aren't happy. But yeah,
they weren't happy.
At least she's happy.
Excellent. It was an excellent.
To the winner goes the spoils. That's what I say.
Yeah, 1 Squid Games tote bag. That was it. So that is now prize place. No, it was really good, but it did mean I was late for something.
Here we go. On.
I was actually late for 2 things. So I turned up on time for my 11 o'clock start at Squid Games, right? And I'm already under pressure, right? This thing has got to last an hour, and then we've got to hot foot it across town up to Leicester Square to watch Fantastic Four on the IMAX.
Right. So you're already cutting it fine. You've got
already cutting it fine. So I put my ticket in and went, oh, this one's for the 11:30 showing. So I thought, oh, fuck. Right. So I was definitely going to be late for that. So I was thinking, what am I going to do in the 20 minutes I had to plan what was happening next? But then I hadn't realised that Squid Games was in Docklands at the Excel Centre.
Okay.
There are loads of things there. There's an IMAX in Greenwich. Brilliant. 1.4 miles away. And also gave me about... so it started at 11:30. After 12, would have given me half an hour to do the 1.4 miles.
Well, that's London miles, isn't it?
London miles, mate. You listen to this. So first of all, it didn't finish at 11:30, did it? It finished at 11:40. So I've got 20 minutes to get there. Then we had to get a photo. You know, you do the sort of Squid Games photo thing. So by the time I leave Excel, I've got 15 minutes to 1 o'clock, and I'm thinking 20 minutes of trailers, maybe half an hour trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the clock is still ticking, though. You're up against it.
Yeah. So we had to walk to the station, 1.4 miles. I had to get 2 trains and a cab.
For 1.4 miles, that's insane.
I know. It's because the Excel's on one side of the river and the cinema was on the other side. So it might be we'd had to be a crow to get there immediately. So I think we got there and I think we'd missed the opening 2 minutes or something.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
I know, but then I had to go out and get the hot dog and the popcorn and all that sort of stuff. So the film's going.
Sell a kidney.
Yeah. Well, luckily I didn't have to do any of that because all of Odeon, listen to this, their systems had totally crashed. Right, so I went down there and they went, have you got cash? We can only do... No, I'm a human being in the 21st century. Of course I haven't got cash. So they've got all these ordering screens like you get in McDonald's and that nowadays. Couldn't work it. Of course, the film's going on. It's also an enormous multiplex thing, so it's about 5 minutes to get down from the cinema down to there. And then I got into a bit of an argument with the manager.
What did you say to him? And over what?
It was a her for a start.
Okay, apologies,
So first of all, some woman came over, and not the manager, a helper came over and said, "Oh, you can order it through the app. Have you got the app?" No, download that. Get that up. Oh no, it turns out it's the Odeon servers nationwide have gone. I'm like,
what are you supposed to do?
I came up with a solution, didn't I? I said, I'll tell you what, right? Just give me a drink and a box of popcorn. I'll leave my car key here. I'll go and do it. And by the time the film's finished, which is still going on, by the way,
that I'm missing.
Yeah, I'll come and I'll collect the key and I'll give you the money and everyone's happy. Have you got, no, we can only do that if you've got cash. I haven't got cash, have I? Otherwise, I would have fucked off 10 minutes ago.
Wouldn't have offered you a car, would I?
Well, maybe that's why. You know, the price of popcorn in cinemas these days, they probably thought,
enough.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't lay down enough collateral. I had to leave my phone as well to be able to get it.
Dear.
And she said, no. I said, this is totally unacceptable. She said, well, what do you want me to do about it? So I've just told you what I want you to do. I want you to give me a drink and a popcorn. I'll give you the car key and I'll pay you later.
Did they go for it in the end?
No.
But in the old days, there was a barter system back in medieval times.
Do you know what?
3 chickens you'd have got that for.
On reflection, I think this is a result. My idea that this could happen is a result of living in the countryside, which is a little bit more trust and faith based, where there's stuff out on the people selling eggs and flowers completely unattended and all that. Just put it in the box and off you go, and it's a system that works perfectly well.
3 doors away from me, they have chickens. How numerous mornings I've gone, we're out of eggs, walk round there, pop 2 quid in, take 6 eggs, perfect.
Yeah, works perfectly well. However, I can see that in the cruel heart of London, people aren't as generous, and
people are setting fire to the chickens.
yeah. See how long the chickens last. So no, she was not prepared to do that. And then when we got back, I was subjected to a 45-minute PowerPoint presentation by my daughter entitled "Why I Should Be Allowed Bunny Rabbits."
A PowerPoint. She put a PowerPoint together. That's amazing.
PowerPoint together. On the iPad, but through the iPad, like cast the iPad onto the TV in the front room as well, and gave a 45-minute demonstration.
That's brilliant.
Anticipating objections, like, no, I don't want any of this.
Pretty bad, yeah.
So I said I would take it into account and give her a decision in the near future. So obviously we're picking them up on the 29th of August.
Now, knowing where you live and your experience when you actually owned chickens, where quite frankly it was like their pen was like Rikers Island with the security from the foxes. I hope you've got something serious planned.
Well, I think they're going to live indoors, which presents an issue of its own, because one of the spaniels definitely likes the taste of rabbit. I can tell you that for nothing.
Just don't eat the raisins when I come out of yours now.
yeah. Give the chocolate bar to this. Right, so you were away last week on your hollybobs. More of which in a minute, but that meant I had to get out of the cupboard an interview I'd done a while ago. Yeah, go into the vaults and take take one of those out. And Jack Kammer. And as I said, when I introduced the episode, I was actually a little bit apprehensive about talking to him, because those who will have heard episode 9, Enter the Manosphere, Paul Bauer, that sort of Andrew Tate. No, he was probably a bit nicer than Andrew Tate, but I mean, that ain't hard, is it? So when I spoke to Jack, who was talking about sexism towards men and boys, I did have a bit of an eye-rolling moment, and his book, If Men Have All the Power, Why Do Women Make the Rules? As I said that to my wife, that title, and she went absolutely mental about it.
I mean, I listened to it. And going back, very same reaction for myself. I already was listening to it with a bit of guard up. I see his argument. I don't understand it.
Yeah, so I've been also giving it some consideration, having listened to it back. As I said, I recorded it a little while ago, actually. But I had, on reflection, I think I had more sympathy with his points, but I don't think his solution is accurate, or is the one that really resonates with me. So I can understand that. I think part of his argument was that the male power structure, if you're a male and you want to opt out of it, you can't. Which I'm not entirely down with that.
I think, and as you brought up, is that a generational view? And I also wonder if there was one issue or a series of issues that formed his opinion, because he didn't quite. He mentioned the whole for a girl, for a boy situation, and the fact that he doesn't have children, but I just wonder what got him to that.
Yeah. Now, I did pick up on that as well, and but overall, I think, it may have sounded, correspondence from Tony once more, was that it sounded like it was getting a bit edgy.
I enjoyed the joust. I think you both understood that you were putting your points across. Listening to the end of it, I don't think there was any animosity there. You were both just putting your points across with authority. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we had a little chat and debrief afterwards. We kind of agreed that we had disagreed agreeably. And in a way that sort of, we hinted at as well, a lot of arguments of these types happen in the character-restricted world of social media and comment sections. You see a lot of this. And I think you lose a lot of the nuance, the give and take. There was a lot of things that I agreed with and said, yes, this happened. And I've felt overall that I was arguing from a generalised societal point. Yeah. And he was deconstructing that by using individual cases, which of course are always tragic. But so the thing that I concluded was that basically this is the reason for the podcast this podcast to a large extent, is that yes, some of these problems are facing men and boys, and you can call it sexism. Not entirely convinced of that, but call it what you will. But whose job is it to sort out? And I think it's our own job to sort out.
Yeah.
And that is why these, the community that we want to build is within this podcast, is to deal with these issues and without burdening other groups that have got their own issues. Yeah. I mean, that is, and also a quote from my wife is, "Look, mate, we've got our own fucking problems. We're worried about yours."
Yeah, and also one of my main takeaways, as you said, about that bit, losing the nuance on social media, because if that happens on social media, that conversation, someone's getting called a nonce.
Who?
Come to your own conclusions, mate. But you can't have that sort of back and forth on social media. But a lot.
Well, that was why I didn't push that. So there was obviously some sort of resentment or something had happened, and I think he's looking back at his life with a bit of regret. Yeah, but I didn't really, because I liked him. I didn't want to sort of, and it wasn't really about him and his own personal journey. I didn't want to open that particular box and start prodding away. And sort of like being an amateur psychologist. I mean, what do I know about it? It's just, a feeling that you get through a conversation that was online as well. So, I mean, you don't get everything there. But yeah, so I thought overall, I felt, to be honest, I thought he won the debate a little bit. I thought he presented his arguments a little bit better than I did, even though he didn't convince me to change my mind fully.
I mean, for me, he didn't convince me, because I get that he's saying ultimately men need help too. That's what but there is help for men, and there's, from my opinion, more advantages for men. And to say he was saying, when he went back to we understand there are physical assaults by women on partners, spouses, what have you. But there's help for that also. A lot of these arguments going, well, who's helping them? Well, social services. There's mechanisms in place for this.
Yeah, you're a little bit closer to that as well. Even so he's written a book called Heroes of the Blue Sky Rebellion, which is stating those arguments to troubled teenagers, I guess. I've actually bought and read it, and again, it's exactly the same conversation over again, but this time directed at mid to late teenagers, a group, especially with like behavioural issues that you come across quite regularly, and the fact that you do so in your world as like specialist education suggests that there are resources, even though they may not be plentiful enough.
It's never enough, but there are resources, and these days it's not just working on the behaviour. When he was sort of, for instance, it was a point that I was thinking about when he was saying about men that commit suicide. Well, a lot of that is, why do men commit suicide? Well, look, there's mental health issues. Mental health's a massive problem.
I was uncomfortable in the idea that is happening because women are emotionally abusing men. I think it's far more complicated and nuanced than that. Again, I'm sure it goes on and someone can point to a particular incident, but we're talking generally.
I've never felt unsafe with a group of 4 women walking towards me at 11 o'clock at night.
Excited sometimes. Yeah.
I would check my hair in the window, But we make a joke, but the other way round, completely, I understand what happens.
As I said, that is one of the things that social media has taught me, that women do live in a completely different world to us. And it's not, the response to that is always, not all men. No, it's not all men. But you don't know that ahead of time, do you? And basically, virtually all men can overpower virtually all women. Of course, there'd be some edge cases at the outside, but for the most part, that is the case. And I do modify my behaviour. So when you find yourself walking to the station or something, and you're behind someone, I will cross the road.
Yeah,
I will do. Try and make as much space for people walking down the road as I can. I mean, sometimes you get it wrong, so you cross the road just as she starts crossing the road, so you cross back and you end up looking like a fucking weirdo in the end anyway. But no system's perfect.
Yeah, but it's about trying to do the right thing and understanding how the other person may be feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so that to me is still my position, but also understand that men have got their own problems, and as we say, that this is why this podcast exists, is to create a community of people saying and trying to deal with these problems. I mean, I don't think many people have got the silver bullet for all these problems, but we can try and do our little bit. Let's get onto it. Judith Chalmers, camping.
Right.
Now we got a flavour of it that everything's difficult. There's no seemingly amount of money you can throw at this endeavour to make it better. So come on, let's have the full download.
I mean, I was sending you my messages. The difficult things that happen. There are many, many great things. Some of the experiences. My daughter's got a cart for her Shetland, and she's been learning how to drive it. And Jessie drove Shire horses, and it absolutely made her weep. It's stuff like that, but it's all the minutiae, Mark. It's the minutiae.
I know, but before you get onto that as well, I know it's meant to be a holiday for you as well, but I think sometimes you miscalculate the standards that kids expect from pastimes and anything, holidays, events. I remember once when the kids were, I say the kids, it's my daughter and her best friend, they were about 3.5, 4, and I had the bright idea one rainy Saturday afternoon of baking a princess cake. So the idea is you bake a cake, you can put like a Barbie in it, and you angle it so it's like a dress.
Oh, you make the dress from...
And then they can decorate it. And so in my mind, I had this beautiful sponge dress.
It's fucking burnt, wasn't it?
Oh, well, it wasn't burnt so much. It was. I will try and put this on social media. So a friend of mine, an artist, she later, after seeing my attempt, had her attempt. You'll see how good that is. But mine, right? So originally I had like a full Barbie doll in the middle, but the sponge came up to her knees.
Legs on those things are ridiculously long.
I know, but I mean, my mate managed to be able to do it.
But she knows what she's doing. My wife makes cakes with her eyes closed. We aren't them.
Yeah. So I had to get like a little troll size thing, put that in, and I was so down about it. So I brought it in to the front room. They're sitting at their little table ready to decorate it, and I was really apologetic and I'm so they thought it was the best thing they had ever said. And, look at this, is amazing. So I think you can get yourself into a bit of a pickle about trying to provide, you do your best for your kids, whatever that looks like, and when you fall short of your own standards, I don't give a shit.
And that's it. But it all started when, Mr. Positive here. Put it this way: as I said, if we're going to go again this year and we're taking a friend, we need a bigger tent. So I go online and find an inflatable tent that's got 4 double bedrooms. I'll send you a photo of it. My wife has a Nissan Navara, flatbed with the hardtop, and it dwarfs it. It absolutely dwarfs. It was the biggest tent there. People would just...
So how come you haven't got enough room?
There's never enough room, because that's the bedrooms, the living area. Once you got in the evening, you put your inflatable chairs in there. I'm tripping over shit but it was a great time. If they want to go back at the end, I'd happily go back, but take quarter of what we took. I mean, we looked like we were going for 2 years, and even my wife said, and me being this is when it all started, Mr. Positivity. Because we got a lot of stuff. I mean, we had camping bunk beds for the girls. I mean, there wasn't a kitchen. You name it, I had it. I've got solar panels to charge everything. I've got banks of batteries. You name it. So there's a lot of gear coming with, which was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, some people love all this stuff, don't they? They see it as a challenge, but I don't want to be challenged when I go on holiday.
No, and it was so. I was saying, we'll get it all in the back of. We took the Navara, and I was like, "There's loads of room there." But we started packing the day before, thankfully, and 3/4 of the way through, I went, "This ain't you're getting in, is it?" So it gets to. Saturday afternoon, I'm then online looking for one of the soft roof bags, the large roof bags you see going up and down the motorway, and some of them are like 3 days delivery. So then, luckily, I find good old Euro car parts. Got one, 40 quid in stock. All right, it's a half-hour drive, not a problem. I go and get it, and it was cheaper than the ones I was seeing online. But beggars can't be choosers. We put it on the roof. Tighten the strap. I mean, and it wasn't me. It was my wife did this, and she said she tightened the first strap, and it tore the bag open. So that was good. So then I'm like, well, I'm not taking it back now. So let's get the duct tape out and just make do. It wasn't a big rip, but it was right on the seam where you've pulled. So that was drive there, uneventful. Putting the tent up, really hot. Really hot. Thankfully, it was a blow-up one, and I had an electric pump that I just stuck in the lighter, and then it's getting everything. That's fine. Where we were, she wanted to view over. The girls wanted to view over the fields, so that's where all the ponies were. Lovely. That's absolutely fine. But it was on a bit of a slope. It was on a bit of a slope down towards the entrance, which is fine in the daytime. But because we had the 2 dogs and we had the girls. We had one of the double bedrooms was where the clothes were. So clothes, electronics at the back. The girls had double bunk beds in one. There's me, my wife, and the 2 dogs. So we decided one of the dogs loves sleeping with her, one of the dogs loves sleeping with me. Let's do that so the dogs aren't padding about. Because the mini dachshund, by the way, on the first night, found it was like a velociraptor. He was testing the perimeter. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, the little shit found a gap and got out. So that's when we decided, right, we'll sleep separately. Well, I had the front bedroom. And when you need to get up in the night to answer a call of nature, it was the slopiest bit. I nearly went through the bedroom and through the front of the tent on 3 separate occasions. You know, when you're not quite steady on your feet, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're on a slope, I nearly went through it. How many times the kids must have woken up. Campsite was great because it had really, walking 2 minutes walk from us, we took a kitchen. It had washing up facilities. It had clothes washers and tumble dryers. So that was a godsend. Everything, but it's
awful.
But it's just sleep. Trying to sleep when there's an owl in the tree above you.
Yeah, not for me.
I was knackered, but they enjoyed it, and that's what it's about. And I enjoyed it. It's just all the little bits that happen.
Yeah, my wife was away in a mobile home at a horse event. I got a very similar correspondence from her. I go, this is a lot of work, a lot of annoying awkwardness. We might as well stay for 2 years once it's all set up. Everything is fucking difficult. Putting up a table, have you flicked out the yellow tab, pulled out the levers, secured it with sandbags? Fuck off, I don't need a table. I wish I didn't know what a leisure battery was. I wish I didn't know how to reset a water pump.
I'm looking forward to our next interviewee, though. That I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, so that is the end of our sort of little download for this week. But as Richard said, we've got a Marine coming on.
We do. Not just any Marine, a decorated Marine.
Yeah, a decorated Marine. He's not a decorator.
No. No,
he's got a great story, story of heroism and service and all the things that can bring with it, including redemption at the end as well. I think it's fair to say. But we're looking forward to getting into that. That will be broadcast on. So this will go out on the Friday. Don't matter. These
this will go out on the 1st.
Yeah, 1st of August. So our marine episode will be out on the 8th. So thank you everyone this week for listening. Get in touch with all your observations about summer holidays this year and the ball ache that they can be. I mean, they've always got some sort of issue, haven't they?
Even abroad holidays are a ball ache. Airports, kids, it's all, nothing's easy. But we just like a moan, I guess. It's the age.
Yeah. Well, that is the Midlife Crisis podcast, the Midlife Moaning podcast. I was accused by Tracy of moaning, one of our frequent correspondees.
Not wrong.
She is wrong. I'm an upbeat, positive optimist. So, yeah, get in touch. Mum, Dad's got another tattoo at gmail.com. Dad's got another tattoo on social media. Get on social media and you'll be able to see all the paraphernalia that Richard took with him, hopefully. Maybe we'll put some princess cake ideas for summer holidays, as, you're trying to... I'm sure many of our listeners are trying to while away those days, and you can I can show you where the bar lies for quality.
Cake comp. I can see a cake comp coming on.
Yeah. So, but thank you very much, everyone, and we will catch you next time. See you later.